It's about a month since we were last in Peguera, and what a difference a month makes. It was certainly opening up a month ago, but just looking at the beach behind us, it looks really busy now, and it looks like any other summer. So maybe Peguera is back to normal. We're going to take a walk along the three beaches here. We'll see if we make it. Depends how hot it gets. It's a little bit sticky and humid today, but it's looking very busy, and it's looking very much like a holiday resort, which is exactly what it should be. I think last time we came, the sunbeds were out, but there weren't actually very many people using them. Today is a completely different story. Sunbeds are all in use. A little bit different to Palma when we were there just the other day. Lots of sunbeds, but not a lot of actually in use. And that probably is a reflection of the two different markets. So Peguera is largely aimed at the German market, and they've been coming on holiday here for quite a while now. Whereas the British market is only just opening up. So Palma Nova, which is oriented towards the British market, maybe that's just still developing a little bit this season. But this is looking very, very good. Great to see. It means Peguera's back on the map. From the German point of view though, I haven't been noticing that this week the German government are actually suggesting that you shouldn't really be going to Spain, and that has actually included the Baleares. So the Baleares has for some time been separated from the rest of Spain in terms of where you should go and where you shouldn't go because of the number of cases of COVID. Well, now the German government is saying that perhaps you shouldn't be going to the Baleares, to Mallorca. So some places which were not open last time, I don't think this was open last time, but it's open now. Tables all set out and people are starting to use them. So it's great. There's a super great police presence everywhere you go now. And the police are just monitoring that people are following the guidelines, which now mean you don't have to wear a mask. It's something that many people have been worried about. But if you get into a close situation or you go inside a building, then you're still expected to wear a mask. So pretty much mandatory that you carry one wherever you go. And beaches have got a number of people you can actually have on a beach at any one time. I'm not sure how they calculate that, how they work it out, how they look at the density. But there are some beaches, Palma is the one that springs to mind, that have been closed or people have been told to go away simply because there are too many people on the beach. Today we've got a green flag. There's very little wind, some little waves on the sea. It's very cloudy today, and actually this morning we had a few spots of what we refer to as the dirty rain. It's actually sand that's blown up from the Sahara Desert, and it gets carried over to us in Mallorca, and may even get carried further over to mainland Spain and even into the UK. But we frequently get this muddy rain, and it just deposits itself and makes everything look dirty again. It's fairly easy to wash off, so you can go down to the local car wash, spend your €2 and give your car the once over, and then within an hour or two it rains again and you're just back to where you started. So we'll wait for the air to clear and then we'll clean the car. Cars. They're both dirty. I must say a big thank you to all the people who've been subscribing in the last 24 hours. We've had a huge number of subscribers, about 100 people have subscribed to the YouTube channel just over the last 48 hours. So a really big thank you. It doesn't cost anything to you. What it does for us is just gives us that little bit of confidence, that little bit of feedback to say that people are actually watching the videos and they seem to like what they're seeing. So if you like what you're seeing, there's the thumbs up you can always do, but subscribing to the channel just helps us that little bit. So thank you very much to all those people who have subscribed in the past, and thank you to all those people who are going to subscribe after this video. So as we walk along this part of this beach in Peguera, 3 beaches mainly in Peguera, yeah, 3 quite big beaches. I guess this may be the bigger of the 3, well, the next one's quite big as well. The crowds actually, the number of people has thinned out a little bit. Still a lot of people, but just coming up to the beds in front of us, and there I can see lots of empty ones. It's one of the hotels just on this side that's being closed. The mill open now. That's great. Just take a look out to the sea. Lots of people in the sea. It is time to get into that water and have a swim. Having said that, we've only been once to the beach so far. We just seem to have been too busy. It's on our list of to-dos along with lots of other things. So we're just coming up to these beds, and at the far end they're mostly full. At this end they're mostly empty. That's interesting. I'm not sure what the explanation for that is. I did read something interesting this morning on Facebook. Somebody just arrived from the UK and was staying in Palma at the Hawaii, and they had a few little mix-ups and hiccups on the way, but pretty much they were really happy to be here. But what did annoy them a little bit was the fact that people were going around early in the morning or booking. I'm not sure how this was working, but their sunbeds were all taken very early. And I know we're in Peguera and it's always in the UK something people laugh about, and the Germans putting the towels on the beds. Apparently it's not just the Germans, it's the Brits as well, and they're doing it in the Hawaii hotel, which is where I was just the other day, and met there a family from Liverpool who are keen watchers of the YouTube channel, and it was nice to speak to them. And I hope you're continuing to enjoy your holiday in Mallorca. I bet you don't want to go back to Liverpool whenever that might be. Right, we have to go up this hill now, so I'm going to switch the videos off for a moment while I climb this steep hill. We now come round to the middle beach that's in Peguera. So we were over in that direction, just around that headland there, and nice big boat moored out there, and then lots of smaller boats. And this is the middle beach. So this has just come to join me. I'm going to have a go at walking along this rickety, and it's got lots of holes in it, so I think the woodworm have been at it as well. I just hope it will take my weight. There are some new planks in here, and this is where the boats will come to take you on a little pleasure trip around. beach. If we get the opportunity, time, we will do that, because it's one of the things I like to do. And you see a little different part of the island. So we've seen the big boats, the pedlos are out. The pedlos have all been modernised since I last really took notice of a pedalo. Pedlos used to be little white things and you just pedalled along. Now they've got slides so you can go into the sea. So these are the new ones. We've seen these now on several beaches. And this is the middle beach, and again it's not looking as crowded as the beginning where we started. So still a lot of people here on the beach and in the sea, but not as busy. And a lot of these people seem to be locals as well, so a lot of people who live in the area, particularly the children, come down to the beach and go on for a swim. Very nice. Shall we carry on? Lots of seagulls around. Quite huge, these seagulls. So there's no diving up here. And the lifeguards actually just come round just to check it all out. It's getting a little bit choppy out there. It doesn't feel as though there's a lot of wind, and it is very grey. There are people out on paddle boards, even though it's a little bit choppy. Something that always amazes me is to see the ducks. I always associate ducks with fresh water, but we've got ducks in the sea. We see lots of them, particularly in Santa Ponsa. There's a little river that runs right down into the sea there. But in lots of places you see ducks. Might not be sunny, it's certainly sticky. Feel the humidity. At the moment there's not much of a breeze, so not too pleasant. When we came about a month ago, there were some hotels that were open, quite a few hotels were open, but some of the bigger ones were closed, so I'm just looking in the distance now, hotel in the distance, and that I can see towels on the balcony, so that one's now open. And reading the local press, around 700, just under 700 hotels open on the island. I'm not sure how many hotels there are altogether, but there seems to be an issue of whether it's viable or not if you're not getting full occupancy. And so, according to the press anyway, they're offering large discounts at some of the hotels. So I looked to see if Anita and I could find a hotel for a cheap getaway, just to go for two nights. And they're asking extortionate prices for relatively mediocre hotels. So the idea at the moment is we will go a little bit further afield, but I'll drive there and then I'll drive back. We do have quite a hectic social life, so actually fitting these things in isn't easy, so we have to be back for certain things. There seems to be a bit of a rush to me anyway. And last weekend, on Saturday, we had a retirement party for our friend Pauline, who's now retired from teaching. wish her a long and happy retirement. I'm sure the grandchildren will keep her busy. And then in the evening we went off to Sonnemar. Sonnemar's an evening show. We went to the presentation evening where they gave us a little taste of what the show was going to be like, and we thoroughly enjoyed it and said we'd have to go back and witness the whole show, or the exhibit, and Saturday night was our opportunity to do that. So we went along and had the most amazing evening. I've just uploaded a video which has pretty much the whole show on it. I might have missed some little bits out, but pretty much the whole show is in there. So if you want to get a taste of what it's like, then watch the video. But it's one of these things you have to actually go to get the full experience and to feel it. It's not expensive, and the ticket prices are €27.50, or you can pay more and you get a little bit more. You get a bottle of cava or a bottle of champagne, depending on how much you can pay. But just for €27.50 you can go and you can watch the show. And there's a bar service, so you can buy yourself a drink, buy yourself some food. None of that was expensive, or didn't seem to be ridiculously expensive. So we paid €19. We got a litre of water. We got a couple of burgers and some chips, all for €19, which I thought was fine, and it's all we needed. So we've got a bottle of cava as well, so we managed to drink most of that. I think we might have left some. Terrible, I know. But the whole evening was an event, so we really enjoyed that. And one of the things that makes it is actually the staff, really attentive all the way through, from walking through the gate to leaving and saying goodnight, but all the way through. The waiters were constantly there at hand if you needed anything. And we actually met the owner, Margaret Whitaker, as we were walking in, and ourselves, we were leaving, we said thank you to her. And one of the management crew there, Chris, came over to speak to us as well. So yeah, that's like the little touches that make it all a little bit special, and people are always checking on you to make sure everything's okay, if they can help you, if you need anything. But there's no force, no hassle. If you don't want to if you just want to sit and watch the show, they're perfectly happy to do that. One of my main concerns was, can I video the show? And as Chris was the manager of the evening, I asked him specifically, can I video your show? And he said, oh yes, absolutely. And as we went in, there's a loud announcement that comes over the hailer, certainly in English and Spanish. But it encourages you to video the show, so that's what I did. I videoed more or less the whole show, and it's now available on YouTube if you want to watch that. You can see what the show is, see if it's your sort of thing. Lots of music, singing, dancing, different sorts of dancing, flamenco dancing, and acrobatics, amazing acrobatics, aerial acrobatics, which fly through the audience, so duck if you're sitting anywhere near them. But a thoroughly enjoyable show, which we finished off with the fountains, an amazing fountain display. So we just walked all the way around this middle beach in Peguera, nice big beach, quite deep beach. As you can see, there's lots of people on the beach, lots of people in the sea, and we're now going to walk around the next headland. And I quite like this path. It's sort of the one we're on at the moment is, well, it's nicely tiled and it's good, but this one I like. It's a little bit more rickety. Be careful. And it's a little bit hilly, so if you're a bit doddery on your feet like me, just watch your step. goes up a little bit, so just take your time and just enjoy these wonderful views. The sun's beginning to break out now. It has a parasol, but it's the temperature's not too bad, and it's just that little hint of a breeze. It's not quite enough yet to take the humidity out of the air, but it's better than it was. It's worth it just to come up here to see these views. Huge yacht over there, some multi-millionaire. And we come round now to the smaller of the three beaches, but still a really respectable, very nice beach with lots of sunbeds. Just have a little wander around. One of the reasons we do these walks is actually just to keep fit. I know I don't look very fit. Anita's very fit because she does a lot more steps than I do, but she aims to do her 10,000 steps every day, and she's got a watch and a phone that tell her how many steps she's done. And pretty much she does 10,000 steps every day. Not quite, she says. Not quite. Oh, there are not many days when she doesn't. And I sometimes get there. I sometimes get to the 10,000. But I don't have one of those watches which is measuring the steps every time I stand up and walk to the bathroom or wherever. So the green flag's out. Oh, it's just suddenly gone really hot. I don't know what happened then, but it seems like somebody's just turned the heater on. We've gone out of what was a breeze. And here, a lot more of the beds actually. So it seemed only the middle of the three beaches which had a big bed vacancy. There's still a lot of beds vacant here, but a lot more taken up, particularly on the first few rows of beds. But the green flag's flying, it means it's safe. It tells you that there's a lifeguard on duty, and that's really important. Every year, sadly, we do get people who do run into trouble, and it's just reassuring that there's someone at hand who can help them. And just at the back of this beach, some nice bars and restaurants where you can stop off for something to eat or to drink. This one's the Sotavento, it's lounge. That looks as though it's going to be opening later, so it's the place next door, which is open. Lots of people already out there. Looks like it's a fish restaurant, Sotavento. It's actually all part of the same establishment. It comes under the same name. You feel as though you've got lots of energy. Little football pitch, basketball pitch. These are all over the islands, everywhere. You can go and practice your sports. And I'm told, well, I've never been, but if you follow that little path over, there is another beach just above. It's one I'll let you explore. If you're coming here and you're into exploring, you can climb over the top of there, and I'm told there is a little beach on the other side which a lot of people don't know about, so it's a secret. So we'll just come down here a little bit further. Group of children there at surf school. Lots of children's activities go on here because they have a long summer holiday. So typically here the children will finish at the third week of June. So Anita's disgusted at that because her school didn't finish till July. But the Spanish schools, children will normally finish around about the 22nd of June. and they won't go back until September. And even when they go back, many of them only do half days, and these are under normal circumstances. With the COVID that we've had, and they've had a very up and down year, particularly the state schools. But because they have such a long summer, parents are always looking for something for the children to do. And summer schools of all sorts, so whether it's a surf school like the one I just walked past the children, I'm guessing it's windsurfing. Maybe not, maybe it's actually proper surfing, because this is a beach where people do come surfing. There's no waves today. But
Can we stop and have a drink here?
Not quite like the surfing we've been on in Portugal, when you get really big waves. But surfing is quite popular here in Mallorca. And Anita's just tempting me, she's really naughty. She says, do you want to go for a drink? And it's only half past 12.
Shall we?
Well, we did stop for a drink, and Anita persuaded me to have a little beer. It didn't last very long.
I only had a water.
Cheers, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed the video, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. So bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye.